Today we're talking about what we did in homeschool in July and August. Hi, my name's Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm very thankful that you're here. On my channel, we talk about all things homeschool. This video is an update of what we have been doing in our homeschool for the past 2 months. I like to do these videos about every 2 months. I think that if I do it, once a month, it's not really quite enough to say what we've been doing, and then more than 2 months, it seems to just be lists of things. So we do it every 2 months. So this is for July and August. It's very interesting because that was our transition from our summer school schedule into our real school schedule. And so we went from our summer school up through taking our break between summer school and our fall school, and then starting fall school. So first of all, we completed the last science camp that my daughter had wanted to go to, which was all about Mars, and she got to make Mars dirt. So she did have a great time there, and then immediately following, we were able to go to a science museum and just take in the great sights about space and what we are learning in our science curriculum. So that was awesome. Decide was the lightest one.
Moon.
The moon, because there's not as much.
Yeah.
As much what? What makes it? For the read alouds that we completed in July and August, the first one was The Wild Robot Escapes. So we finished this book. She liked it okay. It was not her favorite. She liked The Wild Robot so much better than The Wild Robot Escapes. So she did like book 1 better than book 2, but it was still very enjoyable, The Wild Robot Escapes. We also got back into the Chronicles of Narnia. So we read Prince Caspian, which was great because book number 3, which is The Horse and His Boy, was very disappointing. And so I was very happy that she liked Prince Caspian and is now back into loving the Chronicles of Narnia. We watched the movie as well as read the book for Prince Caspian. She did not like the movie as well as the book, and it was really entertaining for me for her to keep pointing out how different the movie was than the book, and when the movie strayed away from the book, and so that was a lot of fun. We also read The Lemonade War, which she really liked this one. She just thought that it was a fun read, and so she wants us to read the next book in the series. So we'll do that shortly, but she liked The Lemonade War. We also read Precious and the Monkeys. Now, it was interesting because this is a very fast read, and her feedback on this was, why did they give it away? That between the title and the monkeys on the front of the book, you knew what was going to happen. You knew who the culprit was. And so it was not truly a mystery because the monkeys were who did it. so but she liked the book. It's just she didn't like the fact that she knew the answer so far in advance. And then we have just finished reading The Mouse and the Motorcycle. It totally stood the test of time. I loved The Mouse and the Motorcycle when I was about my daughter's age, and I had just as much fun reading it when now. And she loved it too, so that was awesome. So those are the books that we read as read alouds in our homeschool for July and August. Now, we probably won't be reading that many for throughout the year, just because during the summer we do have more time since we have a little bit more of a relaxed schedule, and so we take more time for read alouds. For history, we have read What Was the Battle of Gettysburg. We actually read this on our way to Gettysburg, so that was awesome. We had a great time at Gettysburg, and it was so amazing. It was a wonderful experience to go to Gettysburg to explore the museum, to explore the battlefields, to talk to the extremely knowledgeable guides. And so we had a great time with Gettysburg. Also read Who Was Robert E. Lee, and we have now started on Who Was Ulysses S. Grant. So we're reading this. We'll be finished with it during the month of September. We also read some other history books. Now, our library has finally opened, and so we were able to get some history books from the library, which was awesome. And also, the Drummer Boy book that we read had a recipe in it for hardtack, and so we made some of that, and this was her reaction. We also read Bull Run. This was a very interesting read. It was a little hard to follow because it's almost kind of a play, maybe is the best way to put it. You have the different characters and they come and go. And so it's a little bit difficult to keep up with your characters. So for example, see, it gives you your character, and then here are the pages that character is telling you their perspective. And that was a little bit hard, but Bull Run gave us some great insight to the different players of the first major battle of the Civil War. It talked about, people hiring coaches and going and thinking they were going to have a picnic while they were watching this battle. And so it was a very educational book. It was very interesting. It was just a little bit hard to keep up with the different characters. We also read Nurse, Soldier, Spy. So this is the story of Sarah Edmonds. It's a picture book, and it was a lot of fun to read. So that was a good one. And we are now currently reading Caddie Woodlawn. And I'm very excited because my daughter likes this much better than she liked Little House in the Big Woods. And so that is a great thing. So Caddie Woodlawn has been a good one for us. Now, since I'm talking about history, I'll just keep talking about history. We have been completing the American Civil War history pockets. And so we are working on these. Our favorite one so far is The Voices of Protest, where you have John Brown, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, and Harriet Tubman. So this was her favorite activity that we have done so far in the history pocket, so that's great. We are almost finished with the Civil War in our textbook, and so I do anticipate us completing the Civil War in September, and then we will move on to Reconstruction, which will also be a very interesting time. I'm excited about the Transcontinental Railroad. So that's our next big topic that we will cover in history. For science, we read Who Was Isaac Newton? Started putting together our solar system 3D puzzle. We've done up through Earth so far, and it's a lot of fun. She does like putting these together, and so that's really great for us to learn more about the planets. Now, the weather has not cooperated with our experiments that we were planning for outside for the sun as part of our solar system universe study. It's been cloudy and rainy for basically weeks. And so we're still trying to get some of these experiments and activities that I had planned with regards to like the movement of the sun and shadows and other sun experiments. So hopefully that will happen very shortly. We just keep moving it day by day, and we talk about the lack of sun. And she's probably learned more because we haven't been able to do it, and we talk about it all the time, than if we had just done the experiment that one day. But that's fine. She's learning about it, and so that's a great thing. If you saw my new school supplies video, which I will go ahead and link here, we got some smelly scented gel pens for use with her IEW cursive curriculum this year, and she said that that was the only way that it made cursive bearable was because we have these scented pens. I said, well, whatever it takes, right? So the scented pens are a win in doing cursive, and she's actually doing really well with her cursive. We did start my book of kindness. I'm really wanting her to always look for the helpers, always look for kindness throughout anything that's going on in the world and in her life. And so we started the My Book of Kindness. This was actually something that our America's Story 2 book recommended. And so each week she will be putting down a kind act that either she did or someone else did that week. And there are Bible verses at the bottom. And so I really am excited to do our My Book of Kindness. We are using the Passport to America to really reinforce some of our U.S. geography that we learned last year. And one of the ways that we're doing that is my daughter is making the foods that from the different states. And so she has made the Frito pie from New Mexico. She made the chimichangas from Arizona. And we are really enjoying this activity, and so that's a great thing.
Do a little fold over your shoulder here.
Are we talking to that?
Yep, and we'll just set our...
Started our independent morning activities, and she loves them. She is having so much fun with them. My issue right now is they're taking a little bit longer than what I had anticipated. So I'm going to have to tweak a little bit with how we run them, but we're going to keep them because she is really enjoying them. I do have to give a shout out to Jill again, because this math minute multiplication has been amazing. She asks to do it. We had to take it to the coffee shop the other day so that she could do it there. This is just something that she's really enjoying, and I love the fact of how it is reinforcing her multiplication tables. So thanks again, Jill. We're having so much fun with this minute multiplication. I almost forgot. We have also started our documentaries. So we are starting our day with documentaries. Now we watch about 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, and we are watching the Imagineers on Disney Plus. It is the story of Walt Disney and then the Disney Empire. We have made it through one episode because they are about an hour long, but we love them. My daughter loves it. She is asking for more. She's talking about how interesting it is, and then she's actually telling my husband at dinner the things that she learned during the documentary. So I am very excited that we have incorporated that, and we will continue with the Imagineer series because it has been so amazing. And I know that as I'm listening to them talk, I know that we are going to touch base on some of the things that they've been talking about in the documentary in the future in our different curricula. And so I'll be able to bring it back to that documentary that she really enjoys. So that is a great thing as well. Math, we finished the Beast Academy 3A, and we are still working with Singapore as well as Beast Academy. So we'll start 3B in a few weeks after we have been in our Singapore book for a while. I did do this activity that has helped us so much. So each one of these is 6 dots, and we went through to determine different ways that we could come up with 6 from these dots. So you can see we circled 1 plus 4 plus 1, and then we just took turns in circling different ways that we could come up with 4 or with 6. And the whole point is, in math, sometimes there are multiple ways to find a solution, but that doesn't make any of them less right. There may be less work with some of them, and there may be more work with others, but it was just really a way to be able to say, here, we look at it and know that it's 6 right here. That's probably the least amount of work that you'd have to do. Whereas if you circle each one and do 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, you still get 6. It just took you more steps and more time. And so that has helped a lot in working to find different ways to find the solutions of the math problems. And so this was a great activity that we did. Now everything else seems to be moving right along. We started back with Homeschool Spanish. It is awesome. She has remembered the songs, and more than importantly than that, she has remembered the vocabulary, and so that is great. Homeschool Spanish is going well. Language is all about the parts of speech. She is reading The Boxcar Children and Harry Potter. Those two are her 2 books that she is reading independently right now. We're just having a great beginning to our school year. That is our update for July and August, and we will do another one at the end of October. If you are not yet subscribed, please do so. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comments down below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. I am really enjoying getting to know you through YouTube. I love this community that we are building. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.